Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of At the Movies. Today we have Melissa, Brandon, and Kara, the usual suspects with us today. But there's something going on today, right? What's going on today?
I don't know. Is
What's
it like
happening?
Groundhog Day or something?
No, that was months ago. You serious?
Today is learn how to put your phone on do not disturb mode day.
Yeah, 'cause we all need that. We all
I
need
didn't know that that's what the little moon meant on this screen.
Wow. I literally taught
So-
Brandon how to use his phone yesterday, everyone. I gave him a
Well-
full tutorial.
I do have an iPhone 4, so
Can't even download apps.
right on. But
All right,
what's
Scott.
the oldest,
Clearly
what's
burying
the
the lead
oldest
here.
iPhone that anybody still has in use?
Like a 6, I would have to say. What number are they on? 12?
I'm turning 12.
I mean, I had a 6 until maybe like 2 years ago.
They just stopped working. Like it just is like we can't load anymore.
Mine was fine. My iPhone was more than fine.
Why'd you get a new one?
Because basically like I had one of those plans where like you can change in your phone after a certain amount of years. And I had gone like 3 years over my plan. They're like, you could have gotten a phone like 6 times now. I was like, well, I might as well get one of these free phones. So I got a free phone.
There you go.
Ta-da! Now here it is.
Is this a show for Apple? I feel like this show should be sponsored by Apple.
Good luck.
Anyone
it
have
should be
any?
sponsored by Apple, Topo Chico, what are others? And all of the people who are supporting this little thing called Cinema Week.
Cinema Week.
Woo! We did it. Kind of.
Smoke 'em if you got 'em, because it is Cinema Week.
It is Cinema Week. Thank you all for listening, and we made it.
We did.
We did a thing. Congratulations to Melissa and Kara and Scott and Andrew and everybody else who has helped us.
And you too,
That
Brandon, for
list
having
is
the
long.
vision. Brandon doesn't get enough credit.
It's
No,
true.
we don't. But I do get to wear the cool hat.
I'm wearing a cool hat too.
You are. And what does your shirt say?
I have a Cinema Week shirt on because I had to.
Is
Today's
that
the
your
first
favorite
day.
line of all the shirts?
I know. And I feel bad because I'm not wearing any Cinema Week apparel. Like I decided to wear buttons today because this is very out of character for me. Usually I'm in a t-shirt that I, been wearing all day. But today I put on buttons just for you fine people.
You
Oh,
dressed up for us.
I mean, Scott, you designed all the merchandise. You should be flaunting it.
I don't like getting high on my own supply.
I
so
understand.
yeah, my Cinema Week shirt is the all work and no play, which I did break one of my own cardinal rules, and I wore a shirt that I have a tattoo for. Like I actually have a shining tattoo that says that. And I usually try not to wear anything that's like that I already have a tattoo of, because that's like
Redundant.
going to the show with the band shirt on,
Right. You don't want to be that guy.
Does that limit your
Yeah.
wardrobe that significantly?
I mean, it does a little bit. I mean, shockingly, a lot of people get me like gifts and shirts with like, I'm like, oh, it's already.
I hate
Got it
drinking out of
covered.
this mug. It's tattooed on my arm.
That's good to know.
Do
about
you
Kara.
have a Yippee Ki moviegoer tattoo?
No,
Or
but
will
I
you be getting
should.
one?
Maybe Sunday when Cinema Week is over, that'll be my.
Yeah, we
So
should
I
all go
like
get
it.
Cinema Week tattoos.
Yeah. I think it's already tattooed in my brain.
Yeah.
I don't think any of us will forget the countless hours. Some people did overnights. Many people didn't sleep to put this together, but it's been amazing. So rewarding. These past 2 weeks have been crazy, but this week especially, I don't know if you all are feeling it, but just seeing everybody come together has given me just chills.
Mhm. It's a big thing we did.
Yeah.
Lots of chills. But you're right. It's out there. And if you
We did it.
follow Cinema Week or your favorite movie theater, check out what they've got going on this week for Cinema Week.
Mhm.
It's pretty crazy. There's a lot of things happening in a lot of movie theaters. There's good movies out. is anybody going to go see anything this week?
Mm-hmm.
Scott and I are going to a movie tonight.
What are you
Unless
going to see?
Summer of Soul pre-screening.
The new
That's
film
not even
by
out
Questlove.
yet.
I know. We're
Little
very
advanced screening of
little Cinema Week advanced screening. I kind of want to see Werewolves Within, but I need to look up where it's showing by me because I know
So-
it is.
I'm going to go see Summer of Soul tonight in Dallas.
Poor Kara.
And-
Sorry, Kara. No screening
No,
in
it's
Charlotte.
okay.
Come to
I'm
Detroit. You can make it.
Yeah.
in time.
Yeah. make it
Get in your
time.
car. Just start driving.
I'll do the Quiet Place double feature though, for sure.
Yep. I've got tickets for that too. for
I'm not
tomorrow.
sure how I'm going to fit Werewolves Within and A Quiet Place double feature on the same night because I think
They're at the
happening
same time.
Yeah,
Nice.
part 2 and Werewolf Within, I think will be.
But I think I
Werewolf
can
Within.
see part 1 of A Quiet Place and then go see Werewolves Within.
I mean, I feel like, I don't know about you guys, but I'm going to be at the movie theater like at least 3 times this week, which
What
is
else are you
amazing.
going to see?
I'm gonna go see something this weekend. I think I am gonna go see F9 because I want to support the new content and Cinema Week. But so those will be my 3 movies this week.
And Vin Diesel, and John Cena. You want to support those guys?
I mean, I like
And
the franchise.
Ludacris.
Yeah, I like it. The first one was like one of my favorite movies when I had just had a full special. So I've seen them all.
I haven't seen one of them.
So a little story here about Fate of the Furious, which came out, I think, in 2017, I believe.
I think it
And-
was.
So at CinemaCon, they played it. And they had Vin Diesel come out, and then they had the rest of the cast come out, and they said, "Hey, we've got this awesome movie, and The Rock was in it." And they said, "Hey, as a special treat, we're going to play it for you right now." And everybody's like all excited. And within 5 minutes, I fell asleep
Those chairs are so uncomfortable. How did you
in the
fall as-
Coliseum in
Yeah.
Caesar's Palace with Fate of the Furious playing in the background.
I
And
mean,
I fell asleep.
I love, by the way, I love Paul Walker. Like you guys, when I watch the story about what happened to him, I could literally cry. And when Vin Diesel posts pictures and like I get choked up because I really liked him, and that just it was just so horrible. And now I follow like his foundation and everything too. So I feel like that's what also made me just really love the franchise.
Fair enough.
That was 2017, Brandon.
2017. There you go.
Yep. Well, there's
And-
so much going on for Cinema Week, though. Let's chat a little bit about some of the cool things we've seen. What's the coolest thing that you guys have seen that someone's doing? I mean, there's been so much. I am overwhelmed with the amount of creativity that all of the cinemas have come up with and making it their own.
One of my favorite things that I've seen was I don't know the theater chain that was doing it, so I apologize right out of the gate. But someone had the great idea of doing Any Giving Tuesday, which is like, Any Giving Sunday, which is supposed to be kind of like the Oliver Stone film, Any Given Sunday.
Yeah.
Was that? I don't want to say which theater chain it was because I'll probably not name them correctly, and they're going to be like, "Oh, like that wasn't them, that was us." But someone had the great idea of doing Any Giving Sunday, which was a great feature for sure.
Yeah, and some people are doing charity screenings, like our partners at Cinelux, like with F9, which is awesome. People are doing double points, free popcorn contests. I mean, crazy. But Kara sent one, and I think Brandon sent one to me earlier about the staff doing their favorite movie quote video, which I loved.
Yeah, that was awesome. I like the theater that's doing, I think Fox Berkshire is doing like passwords for percentage off of concessions. Like if you walk up and say it's Cinema Week, you get a percentage off of concession, which is awesome.
Mhm.
That is cool.
Yeah.
I saw one that was doing how to teach Latin dance after a
Oh,
screening
cool.
of In the Heights. I thought that was cool.
I saw a tap takeover. Someone's doing tap takeover. Sorry, all exhibitors, we love you, but there's so many. I
Mhm.
can't remember everybody's name. We'll have to make a list next time. But yeah, tap takeovers, Cinema Week themed.
giveaways, like you said, double points. Like it's been such a whirlwind, like trying to catch all these things as they fly past you.
Mhm.
Because we still, have had our heads down looking forward, trying to get every moving piece of this thing functioning. So yeah, it's been an experience for sure.
Yeah, and one of the other cool things, and if you're a moviegoer or exhibitor listening, that we should talk about is through the end of this week, we're asking people to show us how they're ditching their couch and going to the theater. So we are giving away a $25 Fandango gift card a day to the people who do that. So I feel like that's been kind of a fun contest. We've seen some couches on curbs. We've seen people just take pictures in theaters and saying that they ditched their couch. So that's still going on for the rest of this week, which is, who doesn't love free movie tickets?
Right?
Food.
It's like currency.
Mm-hmm. We should start
What
our own
about
cryptocurrency for movie theaters.
right called movie passes? There was something like
Yeah.
so there's a lot of things also being given away: collectibles, merch, movie screenings. Like like this poster,
Yeah.
if you're watching, that I hung up behind me, will be given away.
Mhm.
The
Signed by
40th
Matt
anniversary
Ferguson.
of Empire Strikes Back by Matt Ferguson. Is that correct?
That's right.
And so what else is being given away?
Posters, screenings, books, things that are signed by famous people, lots of great.
Vinyl.
Vinyl.
Thank you,
Throwback
Sparks.
vinyl. Yeah.
I think I have a show and tell of that vinyl. Should I get it?
You should.
Yeah, sure.
Do it.
If anyone's listening and you want to know how to enter, just go to cinema-week/win. All of the details
Add the
are
.com in
there.
there. cinemaweek.com/win. And
I
you
just
can
assumed, but you're right.
see a list of all the great things that are being given away, and you can enter for all of them. You don't have to just choose one. You could enter for every single screening if you wanted to.
Yeah, exactly. And some of the other things that I saw actually that I'm remembering right now is people are doing like costume contests and things too. Oh, cool.
Signed.
Nice.
By Ron and Russell themselves.
Very nice.
Very cool.
And yesterday in LA, there's a new technology that kicked off Cinema Week called Magic Screen, and Howie Mandel was there doing a little demos for some people in the industry that hopefully will be widely accessible for consumers soon.
Yeah. So big shout out to Jay and Dina and the Magic Screen team and Howie Mandel and our friends at Microsoft who came on in support of this. So that was huge. I love having Microsoft involved in a initiative like this. So very cool to have them. And I heard the event went great. We weren't there, but there are some pictures and some video online of Howie talking about Magic Screen and then kind of the demo of Bobby in the background. So that was really cool. What a way to kick it off.
Yeah.
And then
so
Alamo
great.
Draft House last night, they threw a big event with do we know what the secret screening was?
No.
You need
They
to
never
find
did
out.
post. I was going to actually go to one and it was sold out, which was like a good problem to have. I was like
Yeah.
excited that it sold out, but
They were sold out all over the place. And this was kind of their reopening event that they decided to do around Cinema Week. So
yeah, they partnered with the American Genre Film Archive to pick a secret movie, and we don't even know what the movie was.
Still a secret, apparently. We're gonna have to find out. Yeah, for sure. And another cool thing, last minute, the Caribbean cinemas that own a lot of theaters, I don't remember how many, in the Caribbean jumped on board too. So not only do we have the United States, Canada, we also have the Caribbean participating in Cinema Week, which is awesome.
Right on.
Yeah.
Are we allowed to talk about where we're going to be in August, end of August?
Yeah.
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 So I guess our team will also be readily available at CinemaCon. So please come and tell us all the great things that you were able to do with Cinema Week and all the great ideas that you have moving forward. Come and buy us a drink. We'll gladly accept, or we'll buy you one in return. And we can keep
Yeah,
this.
that should be the deal, right? If you buy us a drink, we'll buy you one in return.
It just goes
We
full
don't meet up
circle.
for one drink.
If you listen to the podcast, you can definitely tell we can probably put back a few while we're having a conversation.
Well, what the people don't know behind the curtain is most of us haven't met in person. So this will be the first time that we will all be together as a team, which is crazy.
That's right.
Yeah.
I'll get to find out whether or not Brandon and Kara actually have legs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been
Mystery.
seeing them shoulders up profile for over a year now.
Yeah.
So
That's right. That's right.
I'm limiting my features. The, so I want to go back. Let's do a quick reminisce while we can. We have
let's.
a few minutes left on this show today. So we started this process formally in September. If you can believe that, 10 months ago, we started talking about putting something together called Cinema Week.
Mhm.
So
I
When
feel
we
like
first-
Brandon, we talked about it in the summer though, and then we really didn't wheels up until September.
Mhm.
right, I look back and my first meeting on this was actually in this week 1 year ago.
Yeah.
But we were just kind of knocking it around, and
Yeah.
then September we got the process rolling, like formally. We said, hey, we are going to do this.
doing
What would it
this.
take? What would it take to do this? Man, we really got that right. We have no idea what it would take.
Oh my.
Well, we know
Here
now.
we
goodness.
are. So what we're trying to think back 10 months ago when we started putting this together, do you remember what some of your first thoughts were, or your feelings about, oh yeah, this seems cool, or I want to be part of that? Like, do you remember some of your initial thoughts on it?
I know for me, this is just one thing I'll always remember is we thought we were going to do it in April. And so 12 weeks out was going to be October. And I had to have a last minute surgery. And I remember right before going into surgery, I was making a 12-week marketing calendar, like literally prepping for surgery, making the calendar because we were rushing to get it done because we only had 12 weeks before we thought it was going to launch. So like, that's just one of my nostalgia memories, because I chuckle now that I was rushing before like a major procedure to get the marketing calendar done. And then we ended up having to push it until this week because of everything going on in the world. But yeah, that's one of my memories.
One of my memories, at least about the initial project when we were still kind of before we even got to like the more official framework of what eventually became Cinema Week, was, when my very first phone call with both Brandon and Melissa. Now, obviously, Melissa and I have known each other for a very long time. And when she introduced me to Brandon, she was basically, Brandon had basically explained what he wanted Cinema Week to be. And the one thing that he used to kind of sell that idea was he used Record Store Day as a reference. And I love Record Store Day. Like, I'm a big vinyl I listen to vinyl and everything. So when I putting it in that idea of like, this is what we want to do, but it's going to be more for cinemas instead. And it's going to be a whole week long thing. Like, that's when I really got on board and realized that, no, this could be something really, really special. It may take a while to build it. And I figured, we wouldn't get to the status of what we're at right now until at least 2 or 3 of these. I figured it'd be something really small that, some exhibitors would come on board, some studios would come on board, and we'd have to taste it as we're baking it, and then eventually we would get to something that would be where it's at now. I don't think any of us ever really anticipated that it would have grown into what it has today in the amount of time that it has, because it's been a lot of work, and we've had a lot of people on board. A lot of great ideas come from outside sources that we've been able to really help prop up Cinema Week and the whole ideology behind it. So yeah, it's been a whirlwind. And so now it's kind of like we've actually have a moment to take a breath and enjoy the view a little bit of what we've been able to create. But I know that we're all in that mindset of we're all thinking about, okay, but what's the next step? What's the next level we can take this to? And how can we make this bigger and better for next time.
That's very cool. Thanks, Scott. What about you, Kara?
Yeah, I
What are
mean,
some of your early
I joined the
thoughts?
team in December, and I think I first started seeing Cinema Week stuff in January, like framework, like Excel layouts, sponsor ideas, exhibitors that the team had already reached out to.
You really make
And
it sound like we had it all together.
no, I mean it was to a degree, but I didn't know the magnitude. I was like, oh, this seems cool, but I like,
What a cute little idea.
yeah, I'm like, yeah, that'll be fun. That definitely won't be like
I won't
nights
encompass
of
my
work.
whole life.
But I mean, for me, like, shortly after I joined the team, I know I told this story online, but like, I watched the Sparks Brothers at Sundance Virtual in January, and now like 6 months later, that movie is out for Cinema Week, and we're have shout outs from the band and Edgar Wright, and giving away signed merchandise. So like that full circle for me of like, I watched this movie in January when this was like in its infancy, and here we are 6 months later. Like, I never would have guessed that.
That's awesome.
I mean, for like a little behind the scenes, well, Brandon, I want to know what your kind of first thoughts were too, but like, it really, I thought this would be very small this first time around, and it really just started to pick momentum up, and it just took on a life of its own. Obviously, we had so many people, there's thousands of people supporting this initiative, and without them, it wouldn't have happened, from exhibitors to studios to vendors to on-screen. I mean, just everyone came together and pitched in as much as they could. But I really honestly, like sitting here today, didn't think it would be this big.
Me neither.
Yeah, I thought that the industry needed something, right? Like I thought it needed a jolt. It needed something to rally around, and rallying around a single title just wasn't enough. Like, because that they come and go. I mean, I love big tentpole movies, but they're in and out of the theater, and then what do you do next time? So it needed to be its own thing, right? And then it had to be something easy and intuitive to get our heads around. And I remember when we did the first branding exercises and we were coming up with different names, and Cinema just kind of kept sitting there, and it was just easy. And when you walk, when you have a meeting or you call somebody up and you said, hey, we're doing this thing called Cinema Week, like immediately people that, that we need knew what it was, right? There wasn't a lot of explanation. So I love the branding. Scott, you did an amazing job coming up with a look and a feel. And we talked about this ad nauseum, and we challenged you, and we threw a lot of things at you. Trust me. But all by design, right? And
right.
You really created something cool. Yeah. Right. I mean, you created a look and a feel that people identify with and can be part of. That's the other thing. This is about so many other people. And then I thought, when I saw the first preview deck and the movie lines with words crossed out and cinema added, and I thought, man, that is really smart and it's fun. And as Kara displays her shirt and mugs and tote bags and whatever else and hoodies, like that's a lot of fun. And there's a reason we all quote those lines over and over again throughout our life, is because they're written by some of the most talented people in the world. And sure, they're clever and you remember them, and now you add this branding to it and you really have something put together. So kudos to all of you for making this a reality and going from a thought and an idea to actually having a concept when so many other people are posting about it and writing about it. And it's not just our group. We certainly want to amplify that, but thousands of posts on Instagram over the last couple of weeks, all with this mark that you've made, Scott, and the creative that you've put together, Karen, Melissa, rallying everybody to get in lockstep. That's kind of the amazing part, right? That you go from this little incubated idea, and now everybody's talking about it this week. So It's really fun.
It's pretty crazy, but really, Brandon, none of this would have happened without you. I remember having the conversation. You're like, I think like something record store day. I talked to the guy. I don't know, but you kept pushing us, and you're the visionary, and that's why we are where we are. I mean, that's why this has never been done before. It's because it's really challenging, and it's a lot of different people at the table, and you were the most calm out of everyone and just kept pushing us forward. So please remember that, like, we've all worked very hard, but we wouldn't have done it without your vision. So
thank you.
I'm gonna make them cry.
Oh no, trust me,
yours
I
is-
wasn't relaxed, and and
Behind the
over
scenes.
some drinks in Vegas. I won't share them here, but I will share them off the record. There's been more moments in that probably even that this group knows when I thought, holy shit, this is gonna fall apart. And not even like a long time ago, like recently. And I thought, oh shit, you know what? And then there's other times I thought, God, what the hell are we doing? Why do we think we can pull this off? And the challenges that were put up and the roadblocks and the hurdles, and I don't know. I think here's my two biggest learnings. One, be still. Like when you put it out there, be still, say your intent, and then let's see what happens. And the other one is it's when you really believe in something, hold your ground. It's okay to say no. It's okay if other people aren't dancing in your same direction. Just keep going. You may look like a fool, but you may do something special, and you guys have done something special.
We all have, and with a lot of help from a lot of amazing people. So if you're listening to this and you helped, which I'm sure you have, thank you so much. And I'd really like to take this moment to give a shout out to our sponsors.
Yeah. Do you have them in front of you?
I sure do. I'd like to talk about our Powered by sponsors first. So Atom Tickets, the box office company, Cineonic, Deluxe, Fandango, and The Hangar. Thank you all so much you've done so much to support us, and we cannot thank you enough. And
yeah, and I will say with a lot of them, they made it really easy to participate, that we didn't have to invent technology in a way for people to get involved. They could get the content, they could share it, they could buy tickets, all of these things, that they support us financially. It was amazing. And hats off to Anne Elizabeth and Pat Gonzalez and Vanell, who really stepped up and helped pave the way for some of those things as well.
Yeah, and Stacy, but Powster too is a part of that list, and they launched Trailered with Cinema Week, which is a new websites where you can check out trailers but also purchase tickets. And then we have our cinema advocates, so 2656 Marketing, Before the Movie, CES Plus, Christie, Coca-Cola, ComScore, Dolby, the ICA, Magic Screen, Microsoft and Microsoft Azure, NATO, NCM, Network Advisors, Sidvantis, Screen Vision Media, and Spotlight Cinema Networks. So all of those people have helped us so much during this process. And then our Cinemaniac sponsorship, GDC, Hearst Digital, Idea Man Studios, Influx, International Showtimes, Theater Toolkit, Torfoot Films, Usher U, Venue Valet, and the Vista Group. And then lastly, but definitely not least, our media sponsors, Celluloid Junkie, Letterboxd, and Variety. So I know that's a lot of people to list, and I appreciate everybody listening through that, but really these people supported us when they were, the whole industry has had a tough 15 months, and they stepped up to support. So we wouldn't have been able to do this without them and so many other people. Definitely a big shout out to our advisory panel, who met every single Friday and helped advise us on everything, and our studio partners who just jumped in and helped. And then of course our exhibitor partners. So this is it's kind of emotional, because I feel like we've worked so hard and it's here. And I just feel so grateful. So to all of you too.
And also
Yeah.
relieved. That we're like,
Like there's nothing. I started saying this maybe a couple of weeks ago. I was like, there's nothing you can do at this point. It is going to be what it is. Like, just get out of the way. It's either going to work or it's not.
I do want to bring up that Scott was like, this better not be the Fire Festival, because that repeated in my head. Just so you know, Scott, every week that repeated in my head.
Every day, like, right?
Well, yeah, this was when we were still in the very, very, beginning steps of this process. This is when we still wanted to do it in April. And yeah, I rewatched that documentary and literally I didn't sleep for 24 hours. I was like,
You
was
just
like,
had the cheese sandwich like in the back of your head as you
that's all I
designed
had in my
stuff.
head. It's like we're promising, we're promising like Blink-182 and we're giving them like a cheese sandwich. And I was
Well, and we've definitely morphed what we had initially thought too. Like things have just kind of changed as we've learned throughout the past couple months too,
Mhm.
as to what Cinema Week is and
Right.
what it will be in the future. I'm sure it will still continue to evolve.
Absolutely. I mean, that was almost the tagline for a little bit. When we were kicking around taglines, we almost use it's the opposite of Fire Festival, but for movie theaters. That one didn't really stick because probably for good reason.
Probably lucky. Not sure if the Will Rogers group would have come on if that was.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Do we want to give a shout out to Will Rogers and the merch? I know I do all the time, but just give one last shout out and then wrap up because we've got some
movies to
things
go
to
see.
do. We got screenings to get to. We got things to do. So for people who are listening, you've heard me say it before, but Will Rogers, great foundation who's supported so many people during the pandemic. So at Cinema Week, we're really passionate about giving back. So if you purchase any merchandise, we're giving proceeds back to Will Rogers to help support them in their funds for people who are still, struggling through this pandemic and even coming out of it if their cinemas have closed or anything like that. So the gear's awesome too. So it's not just a sales pitch. We think it's pretty cool, but it also gives back. So it's a great cause. And I mean, Variety, the children's charity, is also another cinema charity. So we are looking at potentially, working with them and donating maybe some posters or something to them as well. So we definitely have a mission of giving back as part of our Cinema Week.
Well, congratulations, y'all. You have built something special, and I think it will be carried forward for decades to come. And I think we'll be able to look back and think we started something really cool.
Oh, absolutely.
So
So,
everybody, if you can do us one favor, go to the movies this week.
Go to the movies. We'll do a recap episode too and just tell everyone all the cool things that happened. So we'll do a little recap.
Yeah. So I guess we can say until next week, we'll see you at the movies.
During Cinema Week.